Vandeham Sri Gosyodapadkamam Sri Kuvam Vaishnavam Sam Sri Rupam Sagatatam Sahagana Raghunatham Satvetam Sahadutam Ritsana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Salakaya H2 Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Ratikaya Vyakmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namane Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Adaya Madhvaya Gunashyatam Varambarenam Purusamvantam Narayanam Tam Sivasamami Tridandinam Bhakta Sivomananta Sri Krishna Padapcha Titaigavidi Chaitanya Lilamata Savasaram Narayanam Tam Satatam Pavatem Namam Vishnu Padaya Sri Kesava Priyatmani Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vamana Trinamane Gora Bhava Mayodaya Utsvala Rasabhavakam Bhaktivedanta Vamana Raga Bhakti Pavatakam Guru Dhamne Chasevasam Vaishnave Savadanati Gante Bhagavate Sakshan Gosami Vedante Vatim Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachavane Nirvishesha Sundravani Pashyata Deshatane Namam Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singha Upine Srimad Bhakti Pragyanan Keshava Iti Namane Attimata Charitaya Swasitanam Sapagane Jiva Dukhe Sadataya Sinama Prema Padayane Gaurasaya Vikrahaya Krishna Kamai Gachavane Rupanunga Prabharaya Vinodeti Svarupine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namane Seva-Ashram Devi Daitaya Kipaptaye Krishna Samandari Pranadayane Papavene Madhuyat Svalapemata Sri Rupanunga Bhaktida Sri Gora Karuna Sakti Vikrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Srimurtaye Dinatarine Rupanunga Virudhampa Siddhanta Tantaharine Namo Gora Kishoraya Sakshatvaya Rakyamurtaye Viparamara Samvate Padamyotayate Namaham Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namane Gora Shakti Sarupaya Upanuga Varayate Gora Vyabhava Bhumesthanne Dishta Satsanaptina Vaishnava Savabhoma Sri Jaganatayate Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyassa Kipasandupaivatam Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahagavannaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratashi Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gourange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suttedevi Pranamami Haripriye Jaitam Suratopamo Mama Manga Madhegati Matsavassa Padamvoto Radha Madanamohana Divyat Vrindavanna Kalpatumata Simatat Nagara Sinasanasto Sri Sri Radha Sri Govindali Prishkai Pisi Vilmanosmaram Simanasa Sarambi Vangsivatatarastita Kashanveno Sanahigopir Gopinata Sriyestuna Brannayai Tulasidevai Brayai Kesharasata Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Sattvatai Namo Namah Panchatattvatrakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Vedanta Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurudev Kripa Vinodya Guru Edase Tinapekshati Na Gurudev Kripa Vinodya Guru Edase Tinapekshati Na Sakala Sahane Volodiya Koro Nityamane Sakalasane Bolodiya Koro Nityamane Sriyahina Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Koro Edase Tinapekshati Kripa Vindudiya Koro Edase Tinapekshati Sakala samane korite sakati teonata yata yata Sakale samane korite sakati teonata yata yata Kavato gaivo harinama sukhe Kavato gaivo harinama sukhe Aparada Bye. 34. Thakura Vaishnava Pada Avanira Susampada Sunavai Ayakamana Vaishnava Charanaja Prema Bhakti Viteda Vaishnava Charanaja Prema Bhakti Viteda Arake Onae Palavanta
Nitai Gunamani Ama Nitai Gunamani Ariyabre Niravanya Asailavadi Nitai
Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Shri Lalita Vishakadevi ki jai. Seva-Ashram Sumima Jai Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Visaya Visama Visa Satata Kaino Visaya Visama Visa Satata Kaino Dora Kirtana Ase Magana Himaratana Dana Hiraya Dayeno Gogapa Unagatiya Mayeno Prabhu He Goga He Prabhu He Goga He Prabhu He Goga He
ja nicht Sanskrit.
Aber Deutsch.
Deutsch. Unter Deutsch nicht. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna.
Yeah, deity of Mirabai is the deity of Krishna, Lord Krishna.
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and Mirabai, she is married with Krishna. She's in Dwarka. She's eternal associate with Krishna. They like Krishna and Vrindavan. Anyway, she has connection with Vrindavan also. There is a nice film, colored film about her.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. जय श्री गोविंदाय गोसंगन जय श्री राधा विनोद हरे राधा रमण हरे राधा श्याम सुंदर जय श्री राधा गोविंद गोपीनाथ हरे महान जय जय विष्णु पादस्तोत्र शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत श्री नारायण गोस्वामी श्री गुरुदेव की जय श्री गुरुदेव पाद बिंद की जय श्री गौड़ीय वैष्णव आचार्य भाग की जय श्री पंग गुरु भाग की जय श्री गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौ भक्तवृंद की जय श्री नवद्वीप माय प्रधान की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादशवनात्मक श्री मंदिर की जय श्री श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड मुन गंगा तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय कंठराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय बृहद मृदंग की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय श्री गौर प्रेमानंदे Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-sharakayam Chakshur-unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gorachannaya Radhikaya Tadari Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktayo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Padaite Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kancana Gourangi Radhe Bindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Haripayam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Ksiptasya Kamadi Tarangamate Kipamaitang Saranang Papana Pinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Yang Brava Chantamana Petana Peta Kityang Dvaipayano Viharakatara Achuavu Putteti Tanmayataya Taravo Vinedus Tang Sava Mutaritayang Munimana Tosmi Vanshakalpaturubhyassa Kipasan Upaivatam Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaham. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3. Sloka number 14. We have not finished the purport. Etat Chushrushyatam Vidvan Etat Chushrushyatam Vidvan Etat Chushrushyatam Vidvan Sutta Naha Arhasi Bhashitum Sutta Norhasi Bhashitum Sutta Norhasi Bhashitum Katha Hari Kattaha Udarkaha Kata Hari Katodarka Kata Hari Katodarka Satam Syo Sadasi Dhruvam Satang Syo Sadasi Dhruvam Satang Syo Sadasi Dhruvam. O learned Sutta, you should tell that to us who desire to hear. Topics which conclude in discussions of the Lord will certainly appear in the assembly of great devotees. Here, the sages of Naimisharanyas are speaking to Sutta Goswami because they want to hear the discussion between Sukadev and Maharaj Parikshit. Sutta Goswami is Sukadev Goswami's disciple. And when Sukadev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit, at that time also his disciple Sutta Goswami was present, and he learned everything. So the rishis of Naimisharanya, they want to know everything about what Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit discussed. That's very nice because the Sutta Goswami, he did not have a tape recorder when Sukadev Goswami was speaking. Sometimes people, they would come to class with camera and tape recorder, and Gurudev used to say, you know, this tape recorder is black. All black things, they cheat you. So, therefore, you should actually, there's not much use in recording that with tape recorder. You should record everything in your heart. That is important. Sutta Goswami did not have tape recorder, but he is explaining everything what his guru spoke to Parikshit Maharaj in perfect poetic meter and everything. So it means he heard and he remembered everything. One time hearing everything, remembering. And that was his qualification. And not only remembering, but also realizing. Because he was a very dear disciple of Sukadev Goswami. Therefore, Sukadev Goswami gave all realization in his heart. So that's very nice. So now they want to hear this discussion. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. We have already quoted above from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami that even mundane things, if dovetailed in the service of the Lord Sri Krishna, are accepted as transcendental. For example, the epics of the histories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are specifically recommended for the Shudra women and the Dvija Bandhus, are also accepted as Vedic literature because they are compiled in connection with the activities of the Lord. Mahabharata is accepted as the fifth division of the Vedas after its first four divisions, namely Sam, Yajur, Rig and Adhava. The less intelligent do not accept Mahabharata as part of the Vedas, but great sages and authorities accept it as the fifth division of the Vedas. The point here is that anything which is connected with Krishna and spoken by pure devotee, that is as good as Shastra, a pure Shastra. Like in South India also, I don't know if you're familiar with Sri Sampradaya. Or the South Indian, before there were great devotees there, they're called Alvas. Alva, you know. These Alvas sometimes, they were not from high-class Brahmin families. They're actually, there were some very special personalities. But they composed songs. They are not part of the Vedas, but they are as good as the Vedas, because the whole devotional mood is there. Like that. So whatever is in connection with Krishna, spoken by a pure devotee, that is pure, and that is accepted as authority. Yeah. So therefore, the Vedas are there, but there are also many, many other scriptures which are explaining the Vedas, accompanying the Vedas. And they are also transcendental, and they are also accepted by saintly persons.
Can you give example who was Alva?
There are many Alva, Tirumalai Alva, then Nila Alva, and also what is called Anda Alva. Ramanujacharya was later. Alvas were before Ramanujacharya. One of them was a big Gunda, hooligan. He was not only Alva, he was actually incarnation of what? Sudarshan Chakra, something like that. Or of the club, I'm not sure. Of Lord Krishna.
Alva, he was a robber and robbing things to pay.
That's what she is saying, yeah. His name was Nila Alva.
He was doing that because he wanted to get married to a girl.
Everyone wants to hear now about Nila Alva. That is see, his mood was that anyone who is not engaged in serving the Lord, who is not using his wealth in the service of the Lord, he is a thief. So if I take from a thief what he has stolen and give it back to the owner, who is the thief? I who take it, or the one who stole it in the first place? So Nila Alva, he took from wealthy, miserly people money and used it in God's service, Krishna's service. Who is the thief? Okay. Bhagavad Gita is also part of Mahabharata. Strictly spoken, Bhagavad Gita is not part of Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam also not part of Vedas, because Gita is in Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavatam is Purana, Bhagavad Purana. But these two Shastras are accepted as the highest Shastra, the crown jewel of all Vedas, like that. And Bhagavad Gita is the Lord speaking himself. So how can it not be authoritative? Some less intelligent people say that Bhagavad Gita is not meant for householders. But such foolish men forget that Bhagavad Gita was explained to Arjuna. Who was? Not sannyasi. Yeah, 3 wives or 4. So Bhagavad Gita, although containing high philosophy of Vedic wisdom, is for the beginners in the transcendental science, and Srimad Bhagavatam is for graduates and postgraduates in the transcendental science. Yeah. The spiritual science is a science. So Bhagavad Gita is ABC, and Srimad Bhagavatam is PhD. Like that. Therefore, literatures like Mahabharata and Puranas and similar other literatures which are full of the pastimes of the Lord are all transcendental, and they should be discussed with full confidence in the society of great devotees. The difficulty is that such literatures, when discussed by professional men, appear to be mundane literature like histories or epics, because there are many historical facts and figures. There are many stories in these books, in these Puranas especially, Srimad Bhagavatam also. And some people, they're just telling them like stories. Especially in India, there are many professional reciters. Especially they will talk about Krishna's pastimes, rasa dance, and these things. They will speak. For money, for taking money. But they will take like stories, or like stories, or maybe some moral meaning, some morality is there. And this is like, I give one example. One time there was one fruit seller lady in Mathura. She came to Vrindavan to see Krishna. And Krishna, she was walking around Vrindavan, but it's not easy to get Krishna's darshan. Very long time she was praying and crying and weeping. Finally, Krishna came to her. He gave her some grains, and she gave him so many fruits. Krishna so many fruits. Krishna very happily brought his fruits back to his mother, and Mother Yashoda distributed to everyone. Then after that lady, she went back, and on the bank of the Yamuna, she took down her basket, and she saw her basket was full of gold and jewels and costly things, like that. And then, so those who are storytellers, they will tell the stories, and they will tell how nice. She gave some fruits to Krishna, and she got so much wealth, like that. But really, that story is not told for that purpose. Actually, what did she do with that wealth?
So people expecting gold then from Krishna if you always hear like this, isn't it?
She took all these things and she dropped it in the Yamuna. She said, "Oh Krishna, don't cheat me. You want to give me this for my service to you? I don't like these things. I only want to make you happy. I only want to see you smiling when I serve you," like that. She was fully absorbed in prem, in full love of Krishna. She left her body only thinking of Krishna, and she returned to the spiritual world. So these stories from the Bhagavatam and Puranas, they're very deep. They have very deep and profound meaning. But worldly people, they don't know this. They will tell some stories and some moral conclusions from these stories. But they don't know anything about the transcendental science and bhakti. So you will not get anything when you come there.
So people leaving empty-handed and empty-minded there.
It is said that the milk is a very pure and nutritious food. Yeah, milk. If you take milk, you can get so much strength and vitamins and everything. But if that milk is touched by the lips of a serpent, snake, then what will happen? It still looks like milk, and it still tastes somewhat like milk. But if you drink it, you will die. So those who are speaking about Krishna's pastimes, but they have many attachments in their heart, many desires. They want to read these stories just to make money. Then this is like touched by the lips of a snake, of a serpent. Then you cannot get real benefit from this listening Shastra, but you will actually become materialistic yourself. Even you're hearing Shastra, you will develop enjoying tendency, because the speaker has this tendency. So this is, therefore, one should be careful to hear the Shastra from good devotees. Then it's very powerful medicine to deliver us from this material existence. It is said here, therefore, that such literatures should be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Unless they are discussed by devotees, such literatures cannot be relished by the higher class of men. So the conclusion is that the Lord is not impersonal in the ultimate issue. He is the Supreme Person, and He has His different activities. We should understand. The Shastra is telling so many pastimes about the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord. So if God would be only impersonal, only Brahma, there are no pastimes in Brahma. Brahma is nirvishesh and nirvikar. There's no variety, there's no any activities, there's nothing there. So therefore, and if you say only Brahma is transcendental and any activities, they're all material, then God, if we hear about Krishna's activities, then they will also be material. Then if we hear something material, how can we benefit? Therefore, we should understand that God is a person, Supreme Person. We discussed it last time you were here. And this is if God is not a person, why to pray? If He is a material thing, why to pray to God? If He does not have ears, if He has no mercy, why to pray to God? So the Supreme Lord is person. That is very important. Therefore, to hear about Him purifies the heart, and is very powerful medicine to bring us back to the spiritual world. He is the leader of all living entities, and He descends at His will and by His personal energy to reclaim the fallen souls. Just like the minister may come to the prison house to make a visit, like that. So the prisoners, they are bound up in the prison house. They have no freedom, they cannot walk out. So if the minister comes for a visit in the prison house, then a foolish person may think, now the minister is also in the prison house. He is like me, he is also convict, Häftling. Not gangster. Prisoner, that is the word. He's also prisoner, like me. But is it true? He's not. He comes, he is free to come and go as he likes. We are prisoner, we are bound up in this material world by the shackles of the gunas. Sattva gun, tama gun, raja gun. We are bound up, but the God, when He comes, He's not bound up. He's free. And like the minister, he may come and he may give some, how this is called in English, I don't know. He can say, okay, I give some order, this and this and this and this, they can be released, like that. So Krishna comes and he can deliver the living entities here in this prison house of the material world. But he is never a prisoner. He is not bound. He does also not have a material body like us. When God comes here, even it looks like he is one of us, he's not. He is a completely spiritual person. Okay. Does he plays exactly like the social, political, or religious leaders? Yes. Krishna comes and he becomes a king. And foolish people think he is a king like anyone else. Krishna is a prince like others, but he's not. Because such roles ultimately culminate in the discussion of topics of the Lord, all such preliminary topics are also transcendental. That is the way of spiritualizing the civic activities of human societies. Men have inclinations for studying history and many other mundane literatures, stories, fictions, dramas, magazines, newspapers, and so on. So let them be dovetailed with the transcendental service of the Lord, and all of them will turn to the topics relished by devotees. Why does Krishna perform so many activities in this world? So that we can hear about it. Because it's very interesting and nice. Like, there's one footnote here that even 50 years ago in India, social structure was so arranged that one would not read any book which was not connected with God. There would be not any mundane books people would not read. Everything connected with God. They would also not have any drama play or any performance which was not related somehow to God's pastimes. All before, all drama, all natak, all dancing, everything connected with God. All festivals also connected with God. Now they make party, now they make Holi and Diwali and drinking and making nonsense. But before, they were all religious festivals with a deep purpose, like that. They would also not arrange any ceremony which was not connected with God. They would also not visit any place which was not holy. If you would go somewhere, you would go on pilgrimage. This was in India even 50 years, and when he was written, that was when Prabhupada, he wrote this in the 60s. Okay, now it is 100 years before. Okay, I should change that. 100 years ago. Therefore, even the common man in the village, they would talk about the Ramayana and Mahabharata, Gita and Bhagavatam, even from his very childhood. By the influence of the age of Kali, they have been dragged to the civilization of hawks and dogs, laboring for bread without any sense of transcendental knowledge. Now, Indian society also so much degraded. They engage in so much low-class nonsense, watching low-class movies like that, with not any connection with God. Before, 100 years before in India, this was not possible. Everything was connected with God, and this is very good. That way our whole life becomes transcendentalized, and we develop love and affection for God, and we will start chanting His name, and our life will become successful. Like that. Otherwise, if no God is there in our life, then what is the difference between the man and the animal? An animal also, they work. They have their families, they eat, they sleep, they have children and everything. But their life is meaningless. No meaning. They take birth, they have children, they die. Yeah. And then they take birth again. And same thing. Going on. Without God, without raising our soul, Without developing love for Krishna and going back to his abode, our life has no meaning. We should know this. That's why Krishna gave us human body. That's why we have good intelligence. We can worship God. Animal cannot take Japamala, can start chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any animal cannot do. No. They will not do sadhana. But human being, we have this capacity. We can worship deity. We can take our food, which we eat, and we are putting in front of deity, Thakurji. Say, please you take. Please you eat first, my Lord. Everything belongs to you. You are the master. Please kindly take this offering. And if you leave something, then I will take after. Everything we eat, we offer to Krishna first. Yes. In this way, everything in our life becomes transcendentalized, spiritualized. And we develop love and affection for God. In this way, our life becomes meaningful. Yeah. The propaganda that the Lord is impersonal, that he has no activity, and that he is a dumb stone without any name and form, has encouraged people to become godless, faithless demons. And the more they deviate from the transcendental activities of the Lord, the more they become accustomed to mundane activities that only clear their path to hell instead of return them home back to Godhead. Yes. Very popular in India, everywhere, all the world. Oh, God is just one, it's just some energy. If there's God is just some energy, then what is your responsibility? Then we can do whatever we like, because God is just some nothing, or some stone, or some energy. Without any name, without any form, without any desires, without any rules also. Yeah. This philosophy is very dangerous because it made people atheistic. And next is, because there's no God, then they look for something, some happiness, then they start enjoying all this material happiness, especially following this Western example of gross sense enjoyment, like that. So therefore, don't think God is just some stone or some light or some nothingness or something like that. God is our dearest friend, beloved, Father, Son. He's everything. Janaki, Janani, Daita, Tanaya, Prabhu Guru Pati, Tuhun Savamoy. You are my father, you are also my mother. You are my beloved also. Daita, Tanaya, you are my child also. Guru, what is this? Prabhu, you are my master. You are my guru, and you are my pati, you are my husband also. Krishna is everything for us. And he is a sweet person, and he loves us, and he wants us to come back to him. And that is always see God in this way. And then some love and affection can come. That love and affection, that will raise our soul. Otherwise, we will only degrade to the level of animals and go to hell. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the history of the Pandavas, and yet Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be Paramahansa Samhita, or Vedic literature meant for the topmost transcendentalist, and it describes Paramjnanam, the highest transcendental knowledge. Pure devotees of the Lord are all Paramahansas, and they are like the swans, who know the art of sucking milk out of a mixture of milk and water. There's some kind of swan called Paramahansa. And they can separate, if you have a mixture of milk and water, they can separate the milk and leave the water. So devotees in this world, they are like that. They see Krishna everywhere in this world. Wherever they are, they will take the transcendental thing out and leave the material thing aside. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. Beautiful, nice pastimes of the Lord, but everything connected with Krishna and completely transcendental. You can see maybe you have Srimad Bhagavatam in your language, somewhere maybe because it is translated in many languages, or you can read in English. Srimad Bhagavatam. Sachi Mata, she can send you link to the. Ne? Stimmt's? And then you can read that, but then it will be very helpful. Evening time, then no need for TV or anything. You can sit down, you can sing a little bit for Krishna, some Hare Krishna, and you can read little from Shastra every night. Then will be very helpful and good. So now we read one more sloka. Let's see how far we come. Sloka number 16. No, 15, sorry. Saha vai Bhagavata Raja Savai Bhagavato Raja Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveya Maha Ratta Pandaveyo Maharatta Pandaveyo Maharatta Bala Grida Gridanakai Gridan Bala Gridanakai Gridan Bala Gridanakai Gridan Krishna Kridam Yaha Adade Krishna Kridam Yad Adade Krishna Kridam Yad Adade. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. Very interesting purport by Srila Prabhupada. He's speaking about himself and he's explaining that great devotees, when they come to this world, their life is special. They're not like ordinary children. Ordinary children, you have to teach them everything. And they want to play. They don't want to learn normally. And you have to teach them how to be moral. And also you have to teach them how to bow down in the temple, how to do some puja like that. But great devotees, when they come to this world, they are different. So we, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Maharaj Parikshit, when he came, even as a small child, when he was playing with dolls, you imitate deity worship. You put a doll there, Krishna, and then he would offer. Then other doll, he would do offering to Krishna. He would play like that. In this way. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that even a person who has failed in the proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of devout brahmanas or in the houses of rich men like Kshatriya kings or rich merchants. But Maharaj Parikshit was more than that, because he had been a great devotee since his previous birth, and as such he took his birth in the imperial family of the Kurus, especially that of the Pandavas. So from the very beginning of his childhood, he had a chance to know intimately the devotional service of Lord Krishna in his own family. His own grandparents, Pandavas, they were great devotees. So Maharaj Parikshit, he appeared there. From his birth, he saw how everyone is worshipping Krishna in the most pure way. And he himself, he had taken birth in that family because he was so qualified. The Pandavas, all being devotees of the Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Every day there was worship of the deity with great love. And the children who appear in such families, fortunately, generally imitate such worship of the deities, even in the way of childhood play. Yes. If the parents worship God, children, they will take up on this. If they see the parents, they're doing other things, then they will also not have any interest in worshiping God. Because the children, they imitate their parents. They see their parents smoking and drinking. Then parents tell the children, you are not allowed to do that. You are small, you cannot do, but we can do. We are old, we can smoke and drink. And then what is the first thing the child do when he gets a chance? Smoke and drink. I will also do that. Now I can also do. Yeah. But, you have a small child, you give a small child his own deity. He says, now you cannot worship big deities because you're small. But you can have small deity for yourself, you can worship. And when you are old enough, then you can worship a big deity also. Then child will think, yes, when I get big, I can worship deity, big deity. Then great enthusiasm is coming, like that. By the grace of Lord Krishna, now Srila Prabhupada is speaking about himself, we had the chance of being born in a Vaishnav family. And in our childhood, we were imitating the worship of Lord Krishna by imitating our father. When night time and also morning time, Srila Prabhupada's small child, he would wake up with his sister. Then they would see their father sitting and ringing bell, ling, 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 doing puja to the deity. Night time and the morning time. So they grew up with that impression. And then they were playing also. Srila Prabhupada, when he was a small child, he would make Ratha Yatra festival. He said to his father, please, you build me one Ratha Yatra cart. So his father built small Ratha Yatra, they put one Jagannath. Then Srila Prabhupada, he would collect all children from all the neighborhood. Then they will all do Ratha Yatra in Calcutta, in their place with this small Ratha Yatra cart. And then he would also organize, he would go to all people before, please you cook something for our Ratha Yatra, make sweets, then we will distribute. Then after Ratha Yatra, he would distribute sweets to everyone. So like that, all as a child he did. And later, when he was great Acharya, he would do Ratha Yatra in Los Angeles and London and big cities in the West. Can you imagine like big Ratha Yatra carts, almost like Puri, not that big, but huge Ratha Yatra carts in America, Los Angeles, 3 big carts, Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Devi. And hundreds of devotees and so many people and like huge ropes. And all people, normal American people from the streets, they would come and they will all pull the ropes to pull Jagannath through Los Angeles. It became such a big festival that the mayor of Los Angeles, he made that public holiday. ISKCON Ratha Yatra Day became public holiday in Los Angeles that day. Not working, can you imagine that?
Still is?
I don't know, but they made like that. And also in London, big. First British came to India to conquer India. But now Jagannath came to London and big cart on Trafalgar Square. Then everyone, the whole city center of London chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, Jai. So in that way, when he was a child, he imitated his parents, later became great devotee like that. Look, he's saying. Our father encouraged us in all respects to observe all functions such as Radha Yatra and Dola Yatra ceremony. And he used to spend money liberally for distributing prasad to us children and our friends. Our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, got all inspiration from his great Vaishnava father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. This celebrated Mirabai, there we have Mirabai also, was also a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna, who lifted Govardhan Hill, like that. The life history of many such devotees is almost the same, because there's always a symmetry between the early lives of great devotees of the Lord. According to Jiva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit must have heard about the childhood pastimes of Krishna at Vrindavan. Then, because when he was small with his friends, he used to imitate Krishna's childhood pastimes. They would play, like Krishna, Kaliya snake, and Agasur, and like that they would play. According to Sridhar Swami, Maharaj Parikshit used to imitate the worship of the family deity by elderly members. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also confirms the viewpoint of Jiva Goswami. So accepting either of them, Maharaj Parikshit was naturally inclined to Lord Krishna from his very childhood. He might have imitated either of the above-mentioned activities, or all of them, and all of them established his great devotion from his very childhood, a symptom of a Mahabhagavat. Such Mahabhagavatas are called Nityasiddha, or souls liberated from birth. And that is, if the pure devotees, they come from the spiritual world here, Nityasiddha, perfect souls coming from Krishna. They, from their early life, they have devotion for Krishna, like that. But others, they may not be liberated from birth, but they also develop a tendency for devotional service by association, and they are called sadhansiddha. They can also become perfect. There's no difference between the two in the ultimate issue, so the conclusion is that everyone can become siddha. Everyone can become perfect or devotee of the Lord simply by association with pure devotees. And the example is our great spiritual master Narada Muni. Narada Muni was not perfect at all, but he became by the association of devotees. In his previous life, he was simply a boy of a maidservant, but through association with great devotees, he became a devotee of the Lord of his own standard, unique in the history of devotional service. Sometimes, one person, he was arguing, all examples in Shastra, they are all about Nityasiddha devotees. There's no example of sadhansiddhas in the Shastra. So whom we can follow? If they all these examples are all already perfect when they came, so whom can we follow? But Narada Muni, is said here, he was sadhansiddha.
He took the remnants from the
His gurus. Yes.
further on.
Yeah. So he was ordinary boy. By the association of devotees, he became a pure devotee. So we will stop here now. Thank you for listening, and continue tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaurachandra Haradika Shobha
Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Shandi Arasika Shobha
Jana Vitatavane Jagavana Loba Jai Kada Shiva Bhagavatam ki jai. Shiva Kapur Maharaj ki upasthiti ki jai.